Yo, what's up? How y'all doing? But I'm gonna be honest here, right? I'm a little upset. I'm a little upset. Cause I just to this video. Like I recorded the whole thing, finished my reaction, but something happened. The file didn't get saved fully, only saved 48 seconds of it, so I have to do it again. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay? Okay. So listen, I'm gonna skip up to I'm gonna skip all this part right here. Maybe right here.
Obviously, if it goes to court, I would hope they would censor your information from the court document.
So he's basically saying that if y'all didn't see my first video, it was about what homie did, like the expose of MrBeast and yada yada yada. Now that he had employees reach out to him to do X, Y, and Z. And Jake Weddle was a former employee that Mr. Beast tortured and held against his will, damn near implying it. But the way this shit is just is you, you guys will see. I'm sorry this is not like my first impression reaction, but what I'd say is how I felt throughout the first watch. So you'll see.
I don't know. And former contestant.
She would never say no because
It was mostly just him talking. Also, like, final thing, people said my last video started slow. This video also starts slow. It builds up over time. But I'll do the retention thing and say, the ending will blow your mind. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Jake Weddle, everybody.
I'm Jake Weddle. Most people who, if you know me from MrBeast, I'm a deep cut. I'm in a few of the videos, sometimes maybe purposefully kept to the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor a lot of the time. But I've been in some videos. I've worked on a lot of them. I was there from 2019 to 2020, 2021-ish when I came back and did some more. I was there when they were authentic, and then I saw the transition to what I feel like is a company. He's like a TV show now. It went from YouTuber guy with a camera to Amazon. The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and were usually moved up, had more screen time. And then there was people who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy or just you didn't like it, you were the other half. And I consistently was in the half that Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. It's okay. That feels so good to say. I don't like Jimmy. I hate you so much. He didn't want anyone to get more popular or have more of a way out necessarily. Like, oh, I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous and leave and talk about me negatively. And I could tell that the yes men were, doing well. And I was, disgruntled for quite some time. So I've talked to reporters, right? Like public.
Just remember that he even calls himself a disgruntled employee, and that the yes men were doing good at the time. So keep that. Oh, I'm sorry.
And I've always had to choose my words very, very carefully because I don't want to say anything I don't stand behind, obviously. So I used to talk to people. I used to glaze Jimmy publicly for things I do genuinely think are true. But then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy, and then I'm blacklisted forever. I told people I was talking to you, and they go, "Don't, what are you doing? You're going to kill your career." It's like, I have to, or I'll be sad. If this is the moment, we're going to talk about it. So, as far as that, that's my covering up of why we didn't talk about XYZ sooner, but now you know.
What would you say is the fakest video that you worked on while you were there?
Fakest video that I worked on while I was there. This is the extent of the fakeness that I was involved to. This is admitting to my complicity. I was a writer there, and we were working on a video, crushing my friend's car with a rock or meteor or something. It was a rock or a meteor in the title of it. I can't remember, but he wanted to do a prank where, unbeknownst to the person, he takes a rock, crushes their car, and they're supposed to think a rock came out of space.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them have no idea that we're doing this. Weddle and Marcus are probably shocked. They had no idea.
And so that was the one and only time I had to, my car? What? And on the fly, I saw him, because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea. He genuinely had no idea. But so Marcus is calling his mom, and his mom's freaking out. And I'm like, oh no, they're going to call my mom next. So I had to text my mom, who had to beg to get the title very quickly, Now I'm texting my mom. I go, Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised. And then I hit send, and then they go, call your mom now. And I call my mom and I tell her, and oh, she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly. She goes, what? I'm on vacation. Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
Jacob, I'm on vacation.
Who would even believe a meteor hit a car? Like, what mom is gonna be dumb? But he says only his reactions was fake, but the other dudes was. So then, I mean, if you're a writer, then okay, that's understandable. I guess they shouldn't have included your reaction, like if it was real, especially if it was staged. But other than that, bro, this is not gonna kill Mr. Beast, bro. Like I feel like what Dog Pound is trying to do, like he's trying to get rid of Mr. Beast, like he's trying to expose him to like kill him. This is not gonna do it, and you guys will see why.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I did that video, and they're supposed to give me 10K to put a down payment on a new car, and they wanted me to get like a big flashy new car. 10K was supposed to be a down payment, and I can't afford a big flashy new car because I work at MrBeast. So I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the taxes on. I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the insurance on. So I do my part of the video, and I get a mom van that I could afford. And Jimmy was like, "Why didn't you get a cooler car?" I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? You know, if I was working on a TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today. But now I make dog shit pay, making gajillionaires more money. And I just walked into the writer's room, and that's one of the reasons why I left, was because I just walked in there and asked for not necessarily a gajillion dollars, but maybe a salary that was more proportional to the work I was doing, given how much revenue that work was doing. And then, you know, I talked about that, and I talked about the Writers Guild and how this is what Writers Guild industry standard is for the streaming internet content with ads. I thought that was the closest thing to YouTube, and I didn't even bring up residuals, because oh my God, if I got residuals for every video I worked on, boy howdy, I could retire. But yeah, the other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid. And I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child, we're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fuckhead white guy, why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up. And one of the things I didn't like about the way some of the V stuff shook out was... I feel really guilty about the way this shook out. Yeah, I was talking to this other writer, Mike, it's fucked up, you know, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, you know, because you deserve to get paid more. You know, I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, you know, because when you grow up with, you know, nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did, you know. You get a little something, you don't want to lose it. So he didn't want to rock the boat.
It's understandable.
But he said, hey man, if that's how you feel, you know, like if that's like, I trust you. He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me. And I said my piece, and he backed me up. And I said, I need XYZ or I'm out of here. And they said, bet. And they gave me a severance check the next day. And they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew he was going to lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it. Me, I was over the moon. I was like, you're going to give me a check and I get to leave? You know, I don't get to deal with the you know, how many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day? You know, and I get to go home and you're going to pay me to leave. I was over the moon. And he was devastated. He did not want. I said, he just wanted to be in the room, you know? And I really regret that. But, you know, me and him are really still tight. We're still good friends. Is he doing good? Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I love that guy. He's doing good. Kinda, yeah.
So maybe you feel better?
Honestly, best thing I could have done for him. Now that he's very, very far removed from all this crazy shit, I guess.
Do you think Jimmy really enjoys doing good and helping people?
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal. And I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. And I think it was the smartest decision for him that he calculated, because he's very good with numbers. If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy? But I've always thought, if you're going to do something nice for somebody and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, then you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street and you saw an opportunity for yourself and your image, and you.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I can understand either way. He's saying that just because you're recorded, that doesn't mean you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You did it for yourself. Okay, I could agree with that. Like, there's a lot of people that go outside and buy food for homeless people and record it. I just think that shit is fake. I don't think that's authentic as hell. Whatever. So we can argue that. We can argue that maybe his practices aren't really with the best intentions or at heart. But at the end of the day, those homeless people, even though they're being used for content, is fucked up. They still got food, bro. They still got to eat. So they still doing a good thing. He still did a good thing. That homeless person did get $10,000. That's life changing. Hopefully, the homeless person used it in the right way. But my thing is, you shouldn't give that kind of money to somebody homeless. You feel me? Like, you should at least set them up better with like how to manage your whoop de whoop or whatever the case might be. Because you don't know where they're gonna blow that money on. It could be for good shit or for bad shit. But you still did a good fucking thing. So I don't know.
Gave one guy $10,000 who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video is way more than what you gave. I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world. There's an element of, oh, hey, you're crying. That's so good for camera. I'm so glad if you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ, and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad, so I could come in and, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could. Oh, it made me uncomfortable that I was working there, and I didn't like
Is he
it,
saying
and I
that
vocalized
happened?
it sometimes, and I think that's why I wasn't on camera as much as they said I was going to be. I was told at one point that I was going to be like fourth banana, it was going to be Jimmy, Chris, Chandler, me, and then that never happened. And I remember talking about that, like, hey, I thought my contract said XYZ. And then I got the severance checks. So, whatever, all that regard.
So after your severance checks, how was your relationship with the company? I know you appeared in videos after that, right?
Right. So in videos where I was appearing in later, that's why you keep nice publicly. If you're nice in public, hey, Jake was nice in public. Let's have him back for something. Yeah, sure. So I was hoping they call back.
Okay.
And I.
Also, remember that he didn't burn no, even though all this shit was going on that he didn't fuck with, he didn't say nothing about it even after he got fired because he didn't want to burn no bridges. He wanted to get a call back and he got the call back. So now let's proceed. Just pay attention to this shit. This is why I,
I appeared in some videos after I left. I think one of them was 3 days in a maximum security prison. If I did do mini challenges in that, I got paid. I was clocked in with a rate, and I would get paid and compensated for those. But there was one video I was in. I got paid a lot for it, but it didn't come out. It didn't come out because it didn't go well. There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the like surviving like $10,000 every day you survive in solitary or surviving solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well. I was already planning on moving to New York, and I had worked at a couple of YouTube companies after Beast, and I had a little bit of change in my pocket. The most change I had in my pocket ever. Small potatoes, compared to Beast bullshit. But I thought I had enough to move to.
sounds like a disgruntled employee. You're not MrBeast. You don't have 300. You don't have 300 million subscribers. You don't have brand endorsement. Whatever. You don't own fucking V-Bucks or whatever the fuck that's the V stream, the V whatever the fuck it is. You don't have Feastable, so there's no way in fucking hell you're gonna have MrBeast money. That's just Come on, that's common sense, bro.
In New York or whatever. And I get a call from somebody over there, and they go, "Hey, they want you for a video." I was like, "Oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God." What's the video? And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's going to be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement, but don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's going to be like a luxury vacation. You're going to have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine, and like part of the video is going to be you deciding like what items am I going to get rid of, today, and it's like the choice. They were like, it's only going to be bad for me to last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first. It's going to be like a breeze for most of it, and by the end of it, after 30 days, you're going to get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. And I don't know, man.
That's a lot of fucking money.
I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said, "Excuse me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure." They were like, "You're going to be locked in this room, and we got to make sure you're on all the time. We're going to have cameras on you all the time, and you're perfect for this because you never shut the fuck up." On paper, I was like, "Okay, I can do this," and they always cut me out of the videos. They always, and I was, editors have told me that it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought, this is perfect. It's a video they can't cut me out of. I'm the guy. And so I thought,
Doesn't it sound like that? Okay, this is my big break. Doesn't it kind of give off that type of shit? This is my big break now to do this, and that, and I'm getting all this money. Doesn't it sound like he was eager at the opportunity, especially since they told him everything that they was going to be? Because the way he explained it, they tell him everything that's going on. So, but let's continue.
Well, if I have to do this, if I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. That I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride.
You sold your soul, bro.
And I get there, and at first it's fine. And they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good. The smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. It looked good on the visual. It looks good on camera. It's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. It was in one of the studios. They had to get a separate tank for septic stuff. There was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Things were cool and funny on paper, but when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. If there's not a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which was a silly complaint, but the shower was always cold, and you're taking a quick shower, and I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine, let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes, on, and off, reeking of smelly dairy.
Bro, that just seems like a non-complaint, bro. That's the cold shower. I could give you that because I can't shower in cold water. If I'm just, but okay, I could give you that. But the hot tub shit, just tell them remove the shit, bro. The ice cream machine, remove the shit, bro. All of these are kind of non-complaints. You're nitpicking. This is not what's gonna kill MrBeast, bro. This is not gonna be the dagger that dog pack think that this is the illegal lotteries and the sexual allegations and all that other shit. If you have proof of it, that's really what's going. Because I feel like he's trying to assassinate MrBeast. This ain't gonna do it, bro. I'm not even a MrBeast fan. I haven't watched not one of his videos. I don't know shit of the nigga. I don't know I know of him, but I don't know anything else. You feel me? I know who's MrBeast, the nigga that gives away crazy amounts of money to people. That's all I know of him. That's honestly it. Well, if I'm seeing through this shit like that, this, but let's, cause I know more than y'all, so let's keep watching.
Mildew, so I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good. So the little thing started to build up. There was the bug thing wasn't terrible, but it was a factor. And at first it was fine, and you're playing it up because it's a video, and it got to a point where they weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no. because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did like, oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Want to know how they figured that one out? I didn't have it. You know, one of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, like, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there. I had good people looking out for me. I had a lot of good people looking out for me, saying, "This, we gotta stop." So I just wanted to turn the lights off, and I'm vocalizing to people, "I wish the lights would turn off." And I go up to my friend, my good friend, and I go, "They're not turning the lights off." He goes, "What? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists." Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. So, you know, they're giving me, you know, melatonin, you know, it's not helping, you know, and then Jimmy would come in like every other day for like an hour, you know, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. You know, I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. And so he'd come by, he'd get the shots, he'd leave. Sometimes he'd have a note from the director over the phone. That would really piss me off. This is the note I got from the director, from Jimmy, when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans? You know how hard it was to do a take of that? To pretend to make it genuine? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage.
It wasn't a cage, bro.
But Jimmy's the guy with the money. If you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it.
All right,
I needed
then,
it, of
shut
course.
up.
There's something about like having the cameras on me all the time. Like I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. You know, I'm a dark comic. You know, I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life. My dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor. You know, so this kind of stuff is very near and dear to my heart. You know, I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. You know, I joke about it because, you know, that's what you do in a traumatic experience. You know, abusive relationships. I get out of it. The first thing I do is I do a type file about it. You know, so I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse. But we're filming. So I'm doing bits. I'm talking to the camera. And I'm being, you know, like, hey, it's been a couple days. I'm not doing so hot. You know, which if I'm filming a video, that's what I should be doing for the camera. But it was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one? You know, if we're allowed to let these cast members have some time off of this difficult challenge, how come we couldn't turn the lights off? How come we couldn't maybe not have some time-lapse footage for 10 seconds?
Did you try to get out?
Yes! I was starting to calculate, I don't know if I could do 30. How much can I, well, how can I manage to get out of here sooner and still have a video and still have some cash and get the plug, man. I did. Since we're doing time-lapse shots and since they insisted on time-lapse shots, I said, all right, we're going to do time-lapse shots, bet. I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You know, you got that whiteboard. Oh no, either that goes in or this footage is unusable. And then, you know, James Warren came in and erased it. You know, fucking, you know, don't put that. Hey, we can torture him. Don't you dare let him get a plug in there. You know. Like we were playing up the joke. You know, it's like I'm the boy in the cage. You know, whatever. Like I'll play into a joke, whatever.
But he said, the fact that when the producers are asking me if you're okay, I would have said no if he's really feeling how he's feeling.
It's fine. It's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes. I have jokes about my dad because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke with my dad all the time. That guy's a piece of shit. I hate my dad. I have a friend.
In the beginning, I don't know if I skipped this part, but in the beginning, he was talking about his dad, that he didn't fuck with his dad. His dad was a piece of shit because behind closed, or maybe it's later on. But
Friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine, because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad, and I said that to seem weird. I don't like it. We were doing that, one of those hide and seek videos. Again, at the time, they were a lot realer. So I got caught. And when you get caught, you go to the place where you get caught. And I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, "All right, you're going to jail. Like your dad." And it's a joke. But when my friends do it, it's fine. And Jimmy just wasn't my friend. He was my boss.
Okay, so if he understood that Jimmy's his boss, you know how he said earlier that Jimmy will pop up like maybe every other day for like an hour at the most and check up on him. He kind of sounded disgruntled about like, oh, I'm just here in the case, or I'm not gonna come check, or like how he will have somebody who won't even come, he just have someone call. If you understand that, if he can't joke around with you like a friend does, right? Why do you expect them to come check up on you or chill with you like a friend does? You just said he's your boss. What's the issue there? Yeah, I got that relationship. And another thing is, you chose to be in this situation. Everything you're complaining about, you've never once told any of them about it, bro. And when they asked about you, you said you're good. So this is why I say like this ain't gonna be the cloak and dagger to kill Jimmy. This is just a nigga that's now holding himself accountable. Like he's victim blaming everything. It sounds like some nigga that wants to get paid.
And that wasn't cool. And so now, I'm locked in a cage at his whim. And I have to do things to get the cash I need to live. And I got.
You could work a 9 to 5, bro. You could do any other job. You didn't have to do this shit.
These cameras on me all the time. And I was unwell. I had editors coming up to me saying, "You good, bud?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? You're clearly unwell." And he goes, "Well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits." Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this. And I'm saying, like, who's watching this? Like, who wants to see this? What is fun about this, the video? And so the thing that made me I gotta get out. I can't do another day in a year. Jimmy comes in and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, it's like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, "Why is he sleeping?" I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up. Then he goes, "Ask me why I have 2 briefcases." And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, "Oh, because this one's for today, and this one's for the challenge." And I go, "What's the challenge today?" He goes, You're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is. And you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic. I'm dumb. I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So your first challenge, Rubik's Cube. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it." I was like, "On camera, I don't want to do it." He goes, "Just do it for the thing." My kid, like there was an element of, oh, Jake will do what we want because he's in house. That's one of the reasons why they got me. Jake's he's an inside guy, so he'll do whatever. We can push him a little extra hard because we know he's good. I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing. Yeah. So I people who run marathons train forever, and it's. So I couldn't say no to the treadmill thing.
He said he couldn't say no to the trauma thing, but that's bullshit. You could have. You chose not to because you felt like you needed to because you wanted the money.
Yeah. So people who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, Ryder. Do I look like I run? I don't run, let alone a marathon, let alone that training for it. So I was in a sunlightless,
Why does he keep looking over there?
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
Good question.
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, And if I refuse, it's just, oh, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing. And so I wanted to be a good sport, and I wanted to get the boost and I want the cash, and so I start running at 12.
I wanted the cash. I want to be a good. Okay, so look, right? Out of everything here, the only thing I see Jake able to argue here, or Weddle, if his name is Jake, I'm sorry if it's not. The only thing I see he might be able to argue here is that he didn't get paid the money that he was promised because there was no way for him to keep track of the time. He said they had. Excuse me. He said there was no clock, there was no windows, no sunlight, no nighttime, no hours. So they could have finessed them like maybe because if it's all just if there's a light on 24/7, it's all just one big day to you. Shit, I don't even know what the fuck today is, and I'm not, and I have clock and all that other shit. But if it's just all one day, then yes, you could get disoriented and you might not know exactly what day. That's the only argument that I feel like he could really make to be like, yo, I was supposed to get paid this amount, but I didn't. Now for the challenge shit, what it seems like is the way I'm understanding it. It's like MrBeast said, okay, since you got through the day, here's the 10 bands that you did for completing the day, and then and then fucking over here is this is the challenge. If you complete the challenge, if you run a marathon and if you run a marathon, you get $50,000 in whatever the case might be. He's like, okay, bet, let me run this marathon. So he tried like he wanted to do it. Cause like in the challenge, right? In the beginning, it even showed in some of the pictures that you get 10K per day. It shows that. It's somewhere.
Um,
Let's continue.
yeah, I was able to take some breaks and.
Oh, because of the 50K, that's why I don't. He was incentivized not to say no. He didn't want to say no, but he definitely fucking could have said no.
Get the boost and I want the cash, and so I start running at 12. Yeah, I was able to take some breaks and. I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m.
Okay, so they tell him he gets to take breaks. Well, he has until Jimmy comes back. That is, and he says he was running until 3 a.m. I don't know how he knows the times, but let's just say 3 a.m. is true. Why didn't you stop? Why didn't you take breaks? Why didn't you do like 1 mile, then sit down, then a mile or half a mile, whatever the fuck you could do to be comfortable? Why didn't you do that and then just stop and then until you finished it? You didn't have to do the marathon in one setting.
All right, I got off the treadmill. Get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m. All right, I got off the treadmill. Oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just the lactic acid. I got off the treadmill, and then the people that came in to like ice my feet, make sure I was good. Then that's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. And that's when I get psych in and talk to the psych about how I'm not well. And like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that were saying, you got to pull him out. Yeah.
Why didn't you say it, bro? So this is my thing. Why would you run until there's blisters on your fucking feet? Bro, when I'm shaving, right? When I'm shaving and I pull a little thing and it like nicks me, I take like a okay, that's a bad example. Well, when I go to the hospital and I get my shots or whatever and they got bandage in his hair, I peel that shit fast as fuck just to get the pain over right there. But then I'm not gonna sit there and do that shit slowly and feel every little inch of the pain. Once it starts hurting me, I stop. If I'm on a treadmill and I see my feet are killing me or starting to hurt me and I can't do it no more, I'm stopping. I'm taking a break. Especially when they told you could take a break. And then you make it seem like they held you against their will that they didn't want to let you go. The first time they asked you, you say you were fine. Okay, cool. They took it at face value. They left it alone. Whoop-de-whoop. Then, after you're on the treadmill, trying to complete the challenge because you want the money. Let's keep it a buck. You wanted the fucking, but you couldn't do it Then you tried as hard as you could to the point of having fucking blisters, which is dumb as fuck. But hey, you needed the money. I didn't know I don't know your situation. Cool, whatever. You do that shit. You fail the challenge, and then you tell them after you got blisters on your feet. You tell them you can't do it no more. And the moment you say that, they not only stop and let you go, they give you a whole ass psyche valve to make sure you were good. So like, what are you really saying right now? Like, this is why I say like this isn't gonna do shit to Mr. I don't even think Mr. Beast has to address this shit, bro. It just sounds like a disgruntled employee, especially like after like the more shit that he says coming up. But just off right now, just from this as a lawyer, if I'm seeing this, I'm not even a lawyer. Mr. Beast got 307 million subscriber money. You feel me? That nigga rich. So imagine what his lawyers is gonna do to some shit like this. The moment he said no, we let him go. We asked him if he was fine. He said yes. Well, what were we supposed to do? He was fed. He ate because he didn't say anything about not having food or nothing like that. So he was properly fed and all that other shit. So what? And he got paid for what he did. So I really don't see where this shit is going. Like I have no this nigga's a victim, bro. He made himself a victim. I have no sympathy for this shit. Who the fuck runs until they have blisters on their feet, bro? I'm not doing that shit. Especially when I have a choice, you're bugging.
I had friends that did some freelance work, and they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, everyone knows you over there, everybody loves you. They go, oh, Jake Weddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him.
Shame what I let happen to me. Don't make it seem like it just happened again. You let it happen.
Like I'm a ghost. And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys going to keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine.
And you're mad about that, bro? You're mad. This thing. So you rather prefer they just kick your blister foot ass out the door and just have you walk home? You rather like, bro? What's?
Slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And they brought. It's like they brought in all my friends, to make it.
The moment he said no, they stopped it. They turned off the lights. They let him get some sleep. They called fucking psyche valve, and then they sent him home. And and they sent him. It gets worse. It gets worse. I don't feel sorry for him. Call me heartless.
They brought in all the people I liked, and Jimmy. Then everybody was around me, making sure I was good, making sure I was okay. But Jimmy had he was sitting in the chair turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God. Everyone was looking at me, and he was like Lex Luthor over there. He turns around, he stands up. He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video, and he's like, oh, stop, you're going to make me cry. And he touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's just...
What is
I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah, your mental health's the most important thing. Just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is... I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S. She just stopped right before it got out. I did not get the 300K. What I got, he goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got, 100,000 some change, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone.
Is that Mr. Beast's fault also? If you had gotten 300K, you would have spent more than 44,000 alone. But look, see, this is my thing. He said Mr. Beast mad that he got paid what he fucking earned. When he said in the beginning that was the challenge. Even in the fucking thumbnails, that's what the challenge said. It said 10K a day. 10K a day. So if he got 100K, then he lasted fucking 10 days. and you got paid for that shit. And then he goes to say that the video was never released because that's what they're saying, that this video was never released. If the video was never released, right? Why do you expect them to pay you the whole 300,000 when the video was never released? They didn't make no money from it. They lost 100K plus anything else. You feel me? So why are you expecting them to fucking pay you 300K? Why you mad, bro? You got 100K. 100 fucking K, bro. You know what that's a down payment on a house, and you could get a car, or maybe you could just get a car, or fuck. But you could if you're smart with money and you could invest that shit, bro. Open a whole fucking business, dude. Man, that's blessing money. And it just seems like some ungrateful nigga that wants a bag. The lawyers are gonna tear this shit up.
And now, I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. You know, my family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And haven't been back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity.
Doesn't he sound better, bro? Nigga said bro, you had 100K and you wasted it on stand-up comedy, bro. 100K, a substantial amount of 100K on stand-up comedy, just flying to comedy fest and shit, instead of really investing in a business or doing something more smart, real estate or anything. You could have started Airbnb, and you could have residual income coming in, passive income coming in as you did your stand-up comedy. But you didn't do that though. And now you're bitter because you made dumb fucking decisions? Alright.
Since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks. And then I'd still gotten some hot water, and I knew it would. And I've wanted to say a lot of this for a long, long, long time.
But you didn't want to burn bridges. But now you know Beast ain't reaching out to you. You want
I
to
feel good though. That's how you get that off there.
So I just want to hop in here and show some text that Jake sent me after this interview. This is July 29, 2021, a few days after he got out of solitary. How are you feeling after a few days? Better. I still couldn't sleep even a few days out, but I almost have my sleep cycle back on track. My legs and joints are good, but the blisters on my feet still hurt to walk on. Medical advice I got was not to lance them and just let them go away with time. I'm mentally still in an uneasy place, but I've gotten back on better help. My therapist is a little concerned, but we are working on things.
Bro, he put himself in his position, bro. Why? He ran to the point of having blisters on his feet, bro. And he did all of this for some. Now he's regretting it because he feels like he didn't get enough money, bro. This ain't gonna do shit to MrBeast. I'm sorry.
Mind you, this is not supposed to be a traumatic life event. This is supposed to be a MrBeast video. Hey Jake, hope you're doing okay. Meg and I just wanted to check in on you. Hey, I'm good and I appreciate that. I'm not exactly 100%.
And they're checking in on him. If these are MrBeast employees, bro, they're checking in on him afterwards and shit. Like
I feel like mentally I'm still recovering a bit, but back in therapy and my therapist is concerned. Haha, but my legs and joints feel better. Like I can walk, but my feet are still covered on those blisters and those hurt to walk on. But I was told the best thing to do is stay off my feet and let them heal. I'm in Raleigh with my family. Also, it'll be like a month before I get the money, and they aren't giving me all the money. They're giving me what I won up to that point in the game, which was also a slap in the face, but hey, I'm out. I'm alive. Therapist who knows and cares about you. The whole thing was so fucked, and honestly, fuck them for not giving you the money. Meg and I are wishing you the best with your recovery, and please feel free to reach out if you need anyone to talk to or need a place to crash in New York. Hope you're doing well, man. That video you uploaded is money. So good. I appreciate. I'm doing better physically. Mentally, I'm still kind of in a place. I still can't sleep. I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days, marathon included. I don't know what's wrong with me. Lots of thinking, too much one might say. Hope they're taking care of you where they can. I mean, I was kind of shocked they didn't pay me for the full 25, 30 days. They paid me what I made up to that point. Like even when we have to pull the plug for my mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it hurts less.
You obviously not if you keep bringing about not getting paid the whole thing. Like, bro.
And like, I'm not famous enough to burn a bridge. So at the end of the day, I'm still Jimmy's bitch. Like if I was Carl and he did that to me, I'd ruin him. And they want to do it again. That could be your leverage. If the guy breaks down also, 2 is better than 1. Yeah, right. I told them everything they did to me that they can't do again in order to make sure the other person doesn't break down as fast. But like the way the video is meant to function is the problem. It's a bad idea, full stop. It sounds clickbaity, sounds right up Jimmy's alley, but it's morally unethical like on every level. Off-camera breaks, lights off at night, visitation, take the marathon out. Marathon is a video in itself. You can't expect someone to exert themselves like that for 45 seconds of content. The challenges really made it feel dehumanizing. Felt like a
So why
parody of
do it?
MrBeast. I felt like the homeless guy they could exploit. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. It felt like if Jeff Bezos.
The homeless guy wasn't exploited, bro. The homeless guy got 10K. You wasn't exploited either. You were asked to do the shit and you wanted to do it. How are you the one exploited if the video was never published? The ones that took an L. You came up with a W. So shut up.
Had a GIMP. Part
No
of me wants the
sympathy, bro.
footage
None
burned, and part of me
whatsoever.
thinks that there's a great horror cut in there. LMAO, he was so fake when he came in and said he cared about my mental health. They must have programmed the care about mental health updates. He said, we also don't want you to, and I swear to our Lord and Savior, he stopped himself from saying sue. Also, as far as like, he could have said no, he could have left at any time. I want to show this segment from an internal document at MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production. Specifically on page 19, there's a paragraph called No does not mean no. Already insane.
This shit is this is a fucking reach because this nigga is trying to insinuate. You know, I'm gonna let him read it first. I'm gonna let him read.
Because it's sort of, it seems to be co-opting the popular anti-rape slogan, which is a terrible look given the allegations that are going to be coming out very soon. It reads, when dealing with people outside MrBeast Productions, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if they are fans or if any have kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social team. If all avenues are exhausted and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically what I'm trying to convey is what we call pushing through no. Don't stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted. This is one of many tools that when combined dramatically improve your probability of success when producing here. So yeah, this idea.
Okay, so this nigga is trying to compare that with forcing a nigga to run until he got fucking blisters on his feet when that nigga never once said fucking no. He said no, they immediately stopped the shit. What he's trying to compare is right. I when I was growing up, well, I'm still growing up, but when I was growing up, there's a lot of side hustles I did. I'm sure if you're in New York, I'm sure y'all know like those niggas that go to the door and try to sell you knives and shit. I tried one of those jobs. So and you get paid by how much shit you sell in commission and all that. But most of the time, the people that are buying are family members because the neighborhood I lived in it wasn't like that. I should have not, and I didn't have a car, so I could have really drove to. But beside the point, I'm dragging out. But a job like that, right? If I go to, I'm using an example. I'm using my personal. I went to one of my neighbor's house, knocked on the door. It was the lady. It was the wife was there. I was explaining to her the type of knives it is, what to use for. She goes, "No, it's okay, sweetie. Thank you. I appreciate it." I'm like, "Okay, so what about your husband? Does he do any cooking? Does he use the knives or anything?" She goes, "Yeah, my husband uses it, but he's not home right now." I'm like, "Okay, when does he be home? Do you mind if I speak to him?" She goes, "Yeah, he comes back as whoop de whoop." So I'm like, "I bet." We took a note. Came back at whoop de whoop, or like maybe an hour after to make sure settled in whoop de whoop. Just bop 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 bop. Hey, what's up? Did the pitch, and guess what? He bought the knife. So if I just left that shit at a no with the wife, I would have lost that commission or that bread right there. But now I got to sub because I kept trying. It's the same thing, bro. If he calls, if I'm a Dollar Tree and Mr. Beast and let's say there's three Dollar Trees, right? No, let's say there's three employees. One of them called Mr. Beast tells him, "Yo, we need a Dollar Tree for whatever reason. Can you try to see if one is available?" Okay, employee one calls one Dollar Tree. That Dollar Tree says no, we're not interested because of X, Y, and Z. Bow hangs up. Employee one's like, "Well, I tried. I'm sorry." That's it. He doesn't call no more for the rest of the day. Employee two calls five Dollar Trees. All of them still says, and he's like, you know what? I tried. I'm tired of getting no's. Fuck it. It's not possible. Boom. Goodbye. Employee 3 calls fucking $10 trees, and he $10 trees. They all say no, but the 11th when he calls, they say yes. As an employer, that's an amazing fucking employee because he's a go-getter. He showed that he's going out, but that's not shady business. It might be aggressive, but it's not really aggressive because the moment they say no, he goes to another store. He's not calling the same store trying to harass them or yada 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 yada. He goes to another store until he finds that store that says yes. It's not his fault. He's not pressuring the stores to say fucking yes. And then he says if it still ends as a no, then leave it alone and fuck it. We'll try something else. That's not, bro. That's business 101, my nigga. If anybody is in sales, that's a good thing. Because how many times, if anyone that works in customer service or in a sales business, how many times have you seen a customer that comes in, looks at some shit, but you get him to buy something completely fucking different that he didn't even fucking know he wanted type shit? You feel me? Like it's shit you never know unless you try. So why is that a bad thing? That's probably why MrBeast is MrBeast. So I don't like you can't compare the two of that being somebody being forced to be a fucking slave or whatever the fuck y'all niggas trying to insinuate. Running until blessings when he chose to do that shit. You cannot compare that to, bro. You cannot compare the two and saying that's why you can't say no to him because he doesn't take no from an answer. No, that's not the same.
Of like pushing through no's is a big component to working at MrBeast. And the way that it manifests itself a lot of the time is like a director might tell a producer, hey, we need access to 30 acres of farmland by Tuesday or we lose $500,000. Now, if you're the producer, you obviously know that means get it done or you lose your job.
No, that's not how I'm taking it.
So what can happen is like a producer's calling up farmers saying, hey, I need to use your land. And the farmer might be like, okay, but, I have animals. You can't be making really loud noises, no pyrotechnics, and you got to clean everything up. So the producer is sort of incentivized to lie and say, or maybe the producer doesn't even actually know the total contents of the video, right? Things changed last second. So they're they're financially incentivized to be manipulative and sort of, they're put in positions where it's like, oh, it's either the producer's job or a civilian's job, like where it talks about, hey, maybe the manager would be willing to bend the rules. Well, you shouldn't really be pressuring civilians to bend the rules that could get them fired,
Okay, but if something could get me fired, if I'm a good employee, I'm not gonna do it. I don't give a fuck who you are. Like that's not. I mean, maybe J Cole, maybe J Cole. I might bend a rule for J Cole because I really fuck with J Cole. If it's something that could get me fired, I'm not gonna do it. Then that has nothing to do with MrBeast. He doesn't know. He doesn't know the fucking policies of Dollar Tree. The fuck?
I'll show you a real life example. This is unused evidence from part 1. I had seen this Reddit post titled MrBeast leaving trash behind and debris at film site in Ayden, North Carolina. Apparently he left a large boat in a pond as well as debris around the film site in the bottom of the pond weeks and weeks after the agreed time frame. This actually rendered it unsafe for campers and almost delayed the camp's opening date multiple times due to not being able to get in contact with MrBeast to get the stuff cleaned up out of the area. So I actually know that this is from a MrBeast video called Protect the Yacht, Keep It. Where at the end of that video, he actually says,
If you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of God, subscribe so we can pass T-Series.
Yeah, so he says at the end of the video that they made sure it was cleaned up. I was actually on site for part of this production. I was at this camp. So I decided to send an email out to the camp, basically saying, hey, I heard these rumors. I'm investigating similar incidents. And the camp responded, actually not denying the claims, going on to say, I am.
He starts reading here, but I want to read the whole thing so you guys have the full context. Hey James, thanks for. That's right. Hey James, thank you for reaching as executive director for blah blah blah. We have been hard at work navigating our busy summer camp season. The cast and crew we hosted in March put on quite a big production, and I was able to meet some great folks across the country who specialize in special effects and explosives. I learned a whole lot from them. First, they were very professional. They took their job seriously, and safety was always their first priority. They were subcontractors of the production crew, and they made sure everybody was safe and well informed. Working with the production was a blessing. They communicated frequently and even texted me before explosions were going to happen. They also made sure that we were able to live out our mission as a Christian camp while they were at blah 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 blah. I'm sure that there are no perfect film productions, just as there's no perfect people. I'm grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer the same. Thank you for reaching out. We are now focusing on finishing out a great summer camp season and are not interested in discussing this any further. So it sounds like they don't want to. The one they're saying that Mr. Beast, they safety was there. They did their shit. Maybe there was some parts that wasn't clean, but maybe they came back afterwards to clean it after they talked, because in the previous thing he was saying that it took them a couple of weeks to do it. Like they did it weeks after they were supposed to, but they still did it. So alright, cool. And then she's saying that it was a great summer camp, whatever. And I'm pretty sure the publicity and shit that camp got is way more than the other stuff.
I'm sure that there are no perfect film productions, just as there are no perfect people. I am grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace, or forgiveness, has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer the same. So clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by MrBeast production team. And that's like sort of the thing is, if you're around Greenville, you know these stories of people working with MrBeast and it being extremely unprofessional, them not doing what they say, but they sort of get by a lot on their good public image. And like, I mean, this camp offered to host them completely for free. And I guarantee, like, if you went to the lake at the camp and you went magnet fishing, like, you'd find all sorts of debris that's still there to this day. Like,
but who's to say that debris is from MrBeast, bro? Like, it's a lake. Obviously, there's gonna be debris, but can you prove? Because that's damning. And yo, this is not gonna be the smoking dagger that's gonna put him away. All the shit that I feel like is unnecessary.
they didn't clean it all up. So in the case of Jake
Maybe
Weddle,
they
like, I'm
cleaned up
sure
the
that there were
shit.
producers who were in a position of, hey, if Jake gets out early, we don't have a video and your job is at risk. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on top of like him being delirious from not sleeping and everything to just manipulate him into staying. Which, I'm sure this isn't like
Coulda
technically
left.
against the
Shut
Geneva
up.
Convention on torture because he wasn't technically a prisoner. Like, he could have left at any time, but because of the extreme pressure to stay in, it's not really a reasonable expectation that he could have just, walked out.
Because of
But
the
that's exactly
implication.
what he did, though.
I think Jimmy is a awkward kid who maybe had it a little rough growing up. I can't speak on that, but I do have empathy for it because I had it rough growing up, and I think when you're hyper fixated on something, like I love stand up, he loves YouTube, everyone fixates on a thing, I think he just wanted to be the best YouTuber so bad, and because the industry's metrics rewarded some not great behavior, if you're just going on autopilot based on what the numbers say, you can do some things that maybe aren't good but reap reward. And I think Jimmy just did.
Kind of like what you did, like running until you had fucking blisters so you could try to get 50 bands from the challenge, however much the challenge it was. Kind of like what you did. Oh, okay.
What the
Okay.
industry and maybe what the system that we have set up demanded. And he didn't care who got hurt. And I think Jimmy surrounded himself with really, really not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at MrBeast who are damn good at their jobs. Like, when Jimmy comes in and asks for something impossible, it's these people's jobs to do it. And they shouldn't be able to make it happen, and they do. And so, I don't think people wanted to talk about stuff because I didn't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't care about my fucking job. I'll die in a hole. I don't care. But I don't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't want anyone's reputation to be fucked. But let's just go back to my dad for a second, if I may. My dad was like a swim coach, neighborhood swim team. Everybody loved him. Everybody loved him. Behind closed doors, he's a real piece of shit. And so, when stuff starts hitting the fan, what? Him? No! Surely! And then, everyone, thought my mom was the bitch, for not, But then the news broke, that he did what he did to one of the students of the team. And it's like, did what he did to one of the students of the team. And it's like when that comes out, you're not surprised, You just
Okay, so he's comparing MrBeast to his dad right now, but he's basically insinuating that his dad is a either a pedophile or a molester because he said he did something to the students on the team. I mean, if the student was above age, I don't see how you could really get in trouble for that besides being fired. But to get arrested for it, then it has to be some underage shit, correct? Let's just assume what it is. So, and then he got mad at Jimmy for making a joke about his dad, but then he says his dad's a piece of shit in the beginning, and then now he's explaining the type of character that his dad is. Are you saying that Jimmy is a molester and all that shit behind the scenes? Hmm.
go. When I saw my dad in the news, I said, "Oh, you idiots!" Like I was like, "No, what?" I was, "Oh, dumbass! God damn it!" But I wasn't surprised, and it was just consequences happening to somebody who was really good at avoiding them for a long time. And I don't know, everybody loves Jimmy, and behind closed doors, he is not super great, and that image is cultivated purposefully and intentionally, and it's branding, it's marketing, it's YouTube.
Okay, so I guess, yeah, just one final question on
Sure.
a serious note. Obviously, the Ava Chris Tyson drama, and, that's a known issue of traditional media. Did you witness or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
It's crazy. I probably hung out with Ava the most out of the main cast, just because I was on Beast Hacks. Now Beast Reacts. I don't know if it's still out. That was a lot of fun because it was just being silly and goofy in front of the camera. And Ava was the only person who was willing to film. Everybody else was too busy or didn't want to, and I was just trying to do my job. Sometimes there'd be like an offhanded joke that's a little gross. I mean, I'm a stand-up, so I'm very desensitized to that. I didn't hear anything that was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like when I saw, the reason I messaged you instead of talking to a reporter sweetly like I have been was when I saw the Discord stuff. Because when I got there, it was like 2019. So I guess if the timelines add up, that would have been like handled, for lack of a better term. And then they started bringing more people on. Maybe they thought they had that under the rug. All right, we handled that. Now let's bring in some writers. And when I saw it, all that stuff start coming out, and the potentiality as of this moment of recording. I know this has been happening fast and stuff has been coming out so fast. Just the potential that Jimmy could have been in those Discord chats, or even the potential that he participated in those Discord chats. After the shit he did to me, if you're gonna make fun of my dad, I don't care what happens to me and my career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff. So whatever happens at this point.
Does that make sense? You're mad at him for saying something about your dad that's like that you're just that you yourself just said is a fucked up person and said he basically insinuated that he did children. It's
Outside of Ava Chris Tyson, did you notice any or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff that if it could be investigated, that'd be great. But it's like water cooler talk. But I've heard things, yes, of course. I heard, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people. The idea that
like your dad?
Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. He's very...
See, this allegation right here, this is damning. This is the shit that he should be focusing on, not a disgruntled employee. It's because this nigga's a business, bro. He's if this was to go to court and they bring his shit is he's gonna fuck it up for everybody else. But the shit he's about to talk about, This this is some shit Mr. Beast has to answer to.
Be careful about his image. You know, the tangible proof that he knew but covered it up. You know, how do you prove that, you know? Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything who worked there. And like you can, you know, someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you know, you get it. You can still have a job after you're on the, that's one thing. You know, you go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. You know, like if you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be rehabilitation in this country. But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that.
Yeah, bro.
He's working at a channel that
this shit
has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people. And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started. And you know that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around, and whenever he is, he's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are in.
I mean, in that video, it looks like they're wearing straight jackets. So honestly, bro, that could just be he's trying to act like he's crazy and wearing a mask. But look, here's the thing, right? So the pedophile shit could go two ways. Cause let's say the way I assume a lot of these YouTube shit goes is just like people that's like, hey, I want to work for you. Okay, man, what do you do? Yada yada yada. Alright, cool. I really don't think they do background checks like that unless like they're in like their main shit. But they're saying this nigga was a VP and all that crap. So if they did, and maybe he didn't do a background check and he didn't know, how often was this nigga working? But if he was a vice president or a manager, I would assume that you definitely did the background check. And if he did know about the background check and let him work there, especially when there's minors, I'm all for second chances. But as Mr. Beast, as a public figure like that, I don't think he should have. That's not a good look. That's not a good look. He definitely. That's some damage shit. That could get him into some shit. That and the legal lotteries and the fake signatures.
Registered sex offender, and that your face could be looked up on a thing. How much more can you literally cover up a sex offender with a physical mask? Like, do I have to? Is it more on the nose, or?
You're assuming.
I don't know why they let him go, because there's rumors back and forth. You know, so I don't know why they let him go, but he did leave at one point. Even if that guy didn't do anything, they still knew about it, and he was still around. And what if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? And I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquially? Like, you know, it's Delaware. Don't ask him why, you know? The fuck? What should we do about it? The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
Okay, so finally I have a recorded phone conversation. The person on the other end of this line is a different former MrBeast employee talking about Delaware. Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the MrBeast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry, and that's what actually like sparked this person to start recording.
Was he was a hustler, dude. Like, to be completely honest with you, he was a hustler. There was extra money he was making all that and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if Jimmy was like, I need a set on, and Baylor was like, would you do that for like $1,000? Well, that's like straight up.
So he was a contractor.
Fucking make a set for like 8 hours. That would say, you know, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And it was Reed's idea to get him fired. And it was like, we need to get you an APL manager, and then we need to get him fired. And it was like, we need to get you an APL manager, and then we went through the whole cycle of different VPs and managers, and, you know, people that won't talk to us anymore, because they're scared of Jimmy. And if you really don't do anything in the affidavit or testimony, some people in the affidavit very quickly because, well, there's people that are going to go back and say,
Okay, so
Okay, so it seems like Delaware was kind of like a private contractor then. Like if Jimmy needed something, or if he's going somewhere, he needed to set it, but like Delaware, can you do this? He can probably use it for cheap. Because 8 hours of making a set by yourself, depending on what it is, could be grueling for like $1,000 extra for whatever he's offering. But we don't know what he's offering, so I don't know. But that doesn't sound like a manager position though.
Reed is MrBeast's former manager who was in the last video telling Jimmy, hey, don't promote gambling to children. So I think Reed's taken 2 W's this month. Don't promote gambling to children and don't have offenders on payroll. Also, yeah, just from where I'm sitting, it seems extremely unlikely that Jimmy wouldn't know. But I know I'm sure that's the defense he'll go with. So I'll just say preemptively, like, if somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks. You're not. Everyone at your company knows, but somehow you don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
kind
that
of a
needs more of an
stretch.
explanation than just saying, "I didn't know." Well, how didn't you know? How did this person get into the company and
He
a
definitely
company
would
that
have
makes
to
content for
explain how he
children
didn't
and
know.
is around children? So yeah, Jimmy, I think we need an explanation from you or your lawyers and PR people and representatives and spokespersons and on how you could have not known that there was an offender at a high level in your company. And while you're responding to that, why not just respond to the allegations of rigging contest videos and selling fake signatures, running illegal lotteries, the dangerous conditions on the set of Beast games? You should address those too. So yeah, just let us know. Okay, that was my interview with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle. I know he will be coming out with a longer cut of this interview as well as other content. So I just wanted to shout him out. Jake Weddle, top link in the description.
I've waited a long time to talk about a lot of this publicly, so thank you for doing what you do.
Okay, so like like I said, I I I personally this isn't gonna like hold on, I want to show you something. So y'all niggas might think I know like I did I'm a fan of MrBeast or I watch him. Look, you see this search right here? That's because like I said my video got corrupted because even then I did it. I don't follow I don't follow him. He's not subscribed.
I just
And in the videos, I don't watch no well we could do it to the oldest. Start at the oldest. I don't never watch none of this nigga shit. Not a damn fucking thing. And we could switch it back to latest. Not a I don't watch him. All I know is he's the nigga that gives money away and gives fucking expensive shit away. That's all I know of MrBeast. Even his popular shit. God damn, 643 fucking million. Jesus Christ. Imagine the bread this nigga makes, bro. Lord have mercy. Alright, but yeah, as y'all can see, I don't watch this nigga. I don't he's it's not really my type of content that I will watch. So it has nothing to do with me. But my thing is, right, the whole I can't feel sorry for a nigga that knew what he was getting himself into. And they told him what it was, and he never once said that he wanted out. But the moment he did say he wanted out, they let him go. So now what's the point of making this video about it coming out about it? Especially how he mentioned the fact that MrBeast never called him back after that. That makes me think if MrBeast had we would have never been where he had exposing. If he was still working with MrBeast, I think all of this shit would be going on. Nah, right? If I see it like this, and I'm sure other niggas that are blunt and see shit like me, the lawyers are gonna see this shit like that. It just sounds like a disgruntled nigga that's mad he got paid what they said they was gonna pay him but he wanted more because he gave himself blisters, and now he wanted to leave, bro. Like that's not like you. And he's mad, and then he blew it. He blew the money. All right, let's say 44K gotta get paid for taxes. That's still 66,000 left, bro. He wasted $66,000 on flights to comedy clubs and shit, bro. You could have invested in a business. You could have started an Airbnb. You could have done so much shit instead of that. You could have probably started your own comedy entertainment shit. You could have fucking went and did way more shit on YouTube. Invested in real estate properties. Like you could have done so hell, even fucking Bitcoin would have been a good investment, bro. Because Bitcoin is stay going up. You feel me? So you could have done anything like that. It's cool that you helped out your family and shit, but then if you know you don't have the means to do it, why put yourself to it? And then and then and then instead of getting like even let's say you didn't invest out there, you just let that 66,000 sit and you touched it for emergencies, bro. You would have still had it, but you didn't even go try to get a regular 9 to 5 job because you felt like you was above that or whatever the fuck it is, and you wasted it on flights to comedy clubs, bro. You're a grown man, a grown ass man. And now you're trying to make this shit like it's MrBeast for like, oh, he tortured me, he kept me in unsafe environments and this and that. Hey, I'm mentally distraught, but bro, that's where's the accountability here? You could have said no. You even said you could have said no, but you didn't want to do it because you needed the money. That's on you, bro. I cannot feel sorry for a nigga like that. And then you got the comments saying the comments is on some. Hold on, what was it at? Was it here? I gotta go back. Oh my God, I should have just done this. I'm sorry. I thought it would have gonna been like fucking 1-2 back. Where's it at? Is this it? Yes. Oh, I wasn't watching it on this. I was watching it on fucking on Brave. That's why I couldn't see it. You see, look, as soon as I start this shit, there's a fucking ad, bro. Brave, there was not one ad in that whole shit. All right, like, see, this is the main thing. A registered sex offender. Yes, that's bad. As a runner, I can confirm running a marathon with no training.
I'm hungry!
Torture is fucking
Alright.
insane. But he chose to do it. He could have denied that shit. Reminder that dog pack is not suicidal in case he dies. Remember when saying that was the worst thing, and people saying he could have left or he agreed to it clearly have no comprehension of coercion. What what this guy went through, nigga, what this guy chose to go through is horrendous. Like, what are you talking about? Especially considering it's his boss doing it. Nigga, it wasn't his boss. He wasn't working there. 10 grand a day for a voluntary challenge is not torture. It's the opposite. Kids of today will believe they are like I'm saying, bro. Like all of this shit, you do it then. The exact same condition. Nigga, I would gladly do that shit, bro. On God, I would do that shit. The exact same fucking conditions. Like, niggas, we gotta grow, bro. This nigga's not a fucking victim. This nigga put himself in that position and he's mad because he trying to get a little bit more money out of it. If y'all niggas trying to bury somebody like MrBeast, bro, if y'all niggas trying to get him out of here or really tarnish his fucking reputations, you need something. You gotta go with the you gotta go with the fucking the pedophile shit being hired. You gotta go with that. You gotta go with the fake lotteries, the illegal lotteries, the fake signatures that we obviously seen on camera, and all of that shit. That's how you're gonna get him out of here. But all this other X, Y, and Z shit makes no sense, bro. It's like the moment somebody tells me, listen, I'll give you $50,000 if you could do. Matter of fact, nah, the same shit. Let's say somebody tell me I'll give you $10,000 a day for staying in solitary confinement. I ain't think I'm gonna do it. And let's say one of the challenges is I'll give you 20,000 if you let me whip you. Nigga, what? I'm cool. I feel that challenge. I don't want to do that. Do it now. But the video, I don't give a fuck. I'm not getting whipped. It's just that simple. I'm not running to the point. He made himself run until he got blisters on his feet, bro. He made himself run. He said he could have taken breaks. He had the time until MrBeast got back to do the marathon. He didn't do none of that. He didn't do none of that, bro. How much? How much miles is in a marathon? Let's find that out. How many? How many miles in marathon. One marathon equals 26 miles. So you could have done one. You could have ran 1 mile and then just taken a break every 30 minutes. You could have taken a 30-minute break, a 5-minute break, and you would have just had, bro. You could have ran 1 or 2 miles. I don't know how long 1 mile is on treadmill. I don't do treadmill, so I can't really say that. But yeah, but shit like that, my nigga, like it makes no sense, bro. Homie, a victim. I can't feel sorry for this nigga, bro. Like not at all. I'm sorry. I can't feel sorry for him. Maybe I'm just heartless. So maybe I just see shit for what it is, and I can't. There's no pity there. You chose to do it. You knew what you were getting into, and when you seen it was getting worse, you didn't want to leave until you forced yourself to got blisters, and then you wanted to try to make them pay you more for mental health shit that you put yourself through. You got 100K, my nigga. That's a blessing. Blessing. All right, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what y'all niggas think about what I just said. But if y'all disagree with me, let me know what y'all disagree, why y'all disagree. And if y'all agree with me, y'all already know we out here. We keep it real. Alright, man, I'm gonna catch y'all later. Hopefully this shit don't get corrupted. Alright? Please, video, stop when I press stop.